Apparently, I have a crazy cat here. Simba, you're not making the environment very peaceful. Well, he's entertainment. So today we will do some standing pose. So considering we actually sit most of the time uh, in our in front of our computers or just sitting watching TV if you're not working. So a lot of us sit. So we have this sitting chair pose, which is a real chair or couch. So now we want to do something that actually use our legs and also get our entire body a bit of movement. So come to your mat. If you do have a wall, you can always use the wall because the wall can be a very good support. And if you have anything that can be of your support, just use those. So the first thing is we just relax the leg and shake out any tension from our limbs. Now the next thing we want to do is I want to relax the hip joints. Most of the time, we're really tight on the hips. So put your hands on the hips on the side, and then bring your weight to your left foot. Now just start to pendulum your right foot. So brush your right foot on the mat or floor without lifting it. So keep your hips square. So if you do have a waistline, you will be able to see if the hip is square. So instead of lifting your right hip, extending your left leg. So you extend and get that sensation of your left foot. So feel that entire bottom of your left foot. If you do want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can close your eyes and continue to swing your right leg. So if this is too challenging, you can also just stare at one of the non-moving part. Now try to keep lengthening your crown to the sky and notice your tailbone. So your tailbone might have small swing as well because of your swinging on the hip. Now our left leg start to feel a little bit muscles straining and shake out first. And now bring the weight to the right foot. And now let's swing the left leg. As you swing the left leg, start to notice your core. So you're not like sagging. So bring your entire being in two directions. One is toward the sky with your crown, the other is toward your right foot. But keeping your hip square. And we just gentle swing the left hip, lubricating our left hip joints. And try to keep your legs fairly aligned with your hips distance, or maybe slightly touch your knees depending the balance you have. So slightly touch the knees, brushing your left knee with the right, and then shake it out. You might feel a little bit. And then we start to do a light twist. So here the light twist, one key is you keep your knees forward bend. So try to just do a very gentle bend on the knees. So your knees are pointing forward or pointing toward where your big toes are. So without shaking the knees left and the right. So we're just shaking the torso left and the right. Very gentle. So what we do is preparation. So when we do anything, we give our body and mind some preparation. right? So it goes step by step. The first preparation part is always boring, just like a lot of work. 80% of time is the boring part, and 20% of time it might sound or feel exciting. Now, to get your knee joint bent, every exhale we start to bend the knees, only bend forward, and on the exhale we twist. Only exhale on your through your nose, so you can do sharp exhale, but keep the movement very gentle. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just shake it out. Maybe you get a little bit dizzy like me. And then we do a bit of side bend. So keep your feet wider. So you can keep just a hip width apart. I like to keep it wider than the hips. First, put your hands on the hips first, and then just tilt to your right, and then come back to center, tilt to the left. Just feel your hips. So here we're focusing on the hips, not any part of the side body yet. And now the next time you go to, the body goes to right, push your hips to the left. So only push your hips to the left and feel only the stretch around your left outer hip, around the side of your hips. And now you can do a bit of neck stretch by letting your head go to the right. So you're stretching the left side of your neck. Just let it relax. And then inhale, come back to center. And then push your hips to the right side. And once you're comfortable here, let your head go to the left. So your left ear is close to your left shoulder. Feel the neck stretch on your right side, as well as only the side hip stretch on the right. So push your hip to the right. So far, the stretch happens around the outer side of the hip and the right side of the neck. Just relax. And then come back to center. Now we're going to extend the side stretch to the side torso, so your rib cage on the side will get stretched. So put your right hand on the hip, left hand to the sky, and then now bend your torso to your right. So here we're stretching from the left hip all the way to your right fingertips. So use your right hand to push the hip to your left. And now you can let your head hand to the right, so your right ear to the right shoulder. But if you do want a different type of stretch, you can look up to the sky. And when you inhale, point your left fingertips toward the sky, toward your right. So that gives you a bit of stretch to the left rib cage. Inhale once more. Exhale, come back to center slowly. And now switch sides. Extend your right arm to the sky. Push your hips to your right. Now bend over to the left. And here we're really stretching the arms up and toward the left so we can get the stretching benefit of your right rib cage as well. So all the way, feel that sensation from your right hip to your right rib cage, to your right armpits, and all the way to your right fingertips. Stretch and inhale, exhale. Inhale, one small point. Exhale. Release everything slowly. Come back to center. Inhale. Very good. Now just shake it out a little bit. Do a little bit light twisting again. So bend your knees on the exhale like this. You can use your breath. On the exhale, sharp exhale. 10, 9, 7, 2, 1. Very good. So we're only standing and having gentle movement of our body. And now we move on to the forward bend and back bend. Very, very gentle. Okay. So if you do have a wall, you can also stand about 1 foot away. But if you don't, it's fine. So put your hands behind your sacrum. Your feet can be hip width apart, or you can stand a bit wider. So if you do have lower back issue, so then keep your feet a bit wider than the hips. And then gently, instead of pushing your hips forward, lift your sternum to the sky and then bend from the upper back. So it's not like this, but like that. So yeah, so the support for your lower back with your hand is not to push your hips forward, rather than just keep your lower back stable, and then lengthen your spine and lift your heart center to the sky and then bend back. So very gentle, very, very gentle, and then come back to center. So now let's do it again. Inhale, lift your sternum to the sky. Exhale, just surrender here. You can let your head go back, but since we're doing something very gentle to start with, you don't even have to let head go back. And then come back to center. Very good. Now the next is forward bend. So this forward bend is we're gonna do very gentle. So put your hand on the hips and gently from your hips go forward. Wherever you are, you can stay there. And try to not round your spine too harsh. You can relax the spine, relax the head. So if your forehead is not onto your knees, that's okay. And now you can relax your arms to the floor and just dangle here for a few moments and see if you want to test out, shift your weight forward and back. And a lot of times we're trying to balance by shift the weight back to our heels, and now just try to see if we can shift forward so maybe our hips will be on top of the heels, but that also feels kind of dangerous where we're going to tip over. So don't be too risky here. Just try to feel a bit of weight shift while you are relaxing on the forward bend. And now bend your knees and slowly round up. So when you bend knees, step into your feet and slowly let your upper body come up, head come up last. Head come up last. And then once your head come up, Roll your shoulders up and back. Just 3 shoulder rolls. And then we do the shoulder relaxation exercise. So here you squeeze your shoulder into your ears. Really, really squeeze. Get your shoulders as close as possible to your ears. And then on the exhale, drop it. So drop it like a hot potato. So squeeze on inhale, exhale, drop it. You can also sigh it out with your breath. So inhale, and you can even really sigh it out with a ha sound. Now do 5 more of these. Inhale. You can even squeeze your face. Last 2. And then close your eyes. Just standing here in a very relaxing posture. Feel the effect of your breath, of your movement. Very good. Now open your eyes. So next we're gonna do some, we prepare ourselves for some balancing pose. So first thing we do is the tree pose. Okay, so if you do have a wall or something, if you want to hold on somewhere, please do that. But let's try to make a mindset that you say, I am balanced. So make that mindset say, I am balanced. So to start, put your right foot either on your left calf or just on the ankle. Or if you're experienced, you can put your right foot against your left inner thigh or your right foot on top of your right hip, right knee pointing down. So whichever you practice for your tree pose. So to me, I am more of right foot against the left thigh. So if you are here, also notice your hip, right? The hip position. Your right hip tend to come up or left hip, right hip sagging. So try to use your core so you're expanding from 2 directions. One is your left foot to the earth, and then is the other, the crown toward the sky. So when you're expanding that way, that gives you the best balance. You can leave your hands on the hips, relax your shoulders. Try to squeeze your left thigh muscle, push against your right foot. So this counterbalance really gives you the stability. If you want and you can, put your hands in front of your heart in Namaste Mudra. If you come off, then slowly come back on. It's beneficial if you can look at one place without moving. And if you can, extend your arms to the sky and really use your core and stable breathing. You can open your arms to have a big tree. Four, three, two, one. Now gently release your right leg. Now shake it out. So when we stand in a bit longer, you actually build some muscle strength, right? Your muscle is tight in order to keep yourself balanced. Now the left side, either your left foot is by your ankle, by your calf muscle, never on the knee. So I will put my left foot against my right inner thigh. So squeeze that inner thigh, push against your left foot, and also pay attention to your level of the hips. Use your core and then palms in front of heart. Relax shoulders and smile. Try to reach your crown to the sky. And then extend your arms to the sky and do everything in slow motion. Continue to breathe. And when you breathe, feel you are like a tree. You breathe in from the roots of the tree, all the way from the earth to the bottom of your right foot, and extend to your fingertips to the sky. Now open your leaves, all your branches, they grow big. You may swing in the wind. That's what a tree does. And smile. Maybe your tree has lots of birds. And then slowly release and shake out. Feel that maybe a little bit tension from the muscles you're standing for long. So next we're gonna still do the balancing pose, but this time we do kind of the easy version of dancer's pose. So if you do have a belt, you can use the belt, but for now maybe you don't need. Bend your right knee and then use your hands to grab your right foot and simply stay here. And this can be a shoulder opening. Keep your shoulders relaxed and slightly tuck your tailbone so you're not overbending on the lower back. And reach your crown to the sky. And this is again 1 foot balancing pose. Keep your knees together. And also notice if you're trying to lift one hip or not. Inhale, reach your crown to the sky. Exhale. Try to point your right knee to the floor. Take your right heel toward your buttocks. So that will open your right side of the quads as well as right hip flexor. Keep your chest open. Just look forward. Keep breathing. And then slowly calm down. And we'll change to the next side. Shift your weight to the right foot, bend your left knee, catch your left foot either by a belt or by both hands. And see if you can pay attention to the level of your hips, because we tend to lift the hip, that is lifting, bend the knee. So instead of doing this, you try to keep your hips level, knees together. And reach your crown to the sky by stepping your right foot into the floor. So you're extending your entire body. And then keep letting your left heel go toward your buttock, and that stretches your left quadriceps and the left hip flexor. Very nice. and it's a balancing pose, so keep your focus on the steady point. And then gently release. You can shake it out. I'm also start to sweating. Very good. So next we will do the actual dancer pose. So the dancer pose, step your left foot forward, and then we can do this open hip version or square hip version. So there's different schools of the thoughts. If you do have a belt, you can also use the belt, but put your weight on the left foot and then bend your right knee. Catch the right foot with your right hand. Extend your left arm out. You can simply stay here or start, slightly bend your left knee so you're not locking your standing foot. If your left foot, the standing foot is stable, and then you lift your right knee and push your right foot against your right hand, and then let your right shoulder open. And this is the open hip version of the dancer pose. If you're doing the closed hipped, then your hips is square. You're merely doing the square hipped. Keep your chest toward the floor or look forward, your hand going, left hand pointing forward. You can use a mudra with thumb and index finger together. And use your core and all the little muscles work together. Stay balanced and smile. And then gently come back and shake it out. Now let's go to the other side. Step your right foot forward and then shift your weight to the right foot. Bend your left knee, catch your left foot with your right hand. So I have a wall. I can just use the wall here for the initial, but try to make your mindset, I am balanced. Extend your right arm out. You can use the mudra with right thumb and right index finger. And now when you are very stable on your standing foot, slowly dipping down, extend your left leg up, open the hip or square the hip, whichever you feel more comfortable for your practice. And smile and look forward. And breathe. Slowly come down. Nice. Shake it out. It's so fun. Shake it out. I'm sweating now. Good. And then close your eyes. Just standing here in a very relaxing posture. Feel the effect of your breath, of your movement. Now open your eyes.